So how do you really improve at sales? I mean, think about it. Like you can work on your strategy, you can have a script, and these are things that can help, of course. But oftentimes, people know like how you can improve your sales. Obviously, do repetitions, do call reviews, read books, right? And these are things that will help. But what really makes a difference? Because we're not just improving efficiently if we're just doing repetitions. Is there a way that we can make it more efficient? So I think when people say like when you work on sales, you want to have a strategy, I think that only works like in the beginning stages because you want to have a script, you want to have the understanding of like what's discovery, intro, pitch, closing, and things like that. But that gets stale pretty fast. And so I think for me, what really moves the needle is like understanding and intuition, right? Because let's say you make a strategy for your sales goals. That might work well in the beginning, but after a while, what are you going to do? Make a new strategy? Maybe, but then what is going to cause this strategy being better than the other strategy that you made, right? You could say experience. Well, yes, but what exactly is it, right? It might be, it's not just about reading books and doing repetitions. It's about getting like insight. And every time you're doing a call, whether it's a cold call or whether it's a sales meeting, it's about understanding what moved the needle for this person. It's about getting more understanding about psychology. It's about getting more understanding of how you can handle a certain situation. And all these things, they stack up over time and they give you intuition, right? And that's really what helps, because the strategy doesn't necessarily give you intuition. That's just like a script that you follow. But if you can have the understanding, you develop the intuition, and then with better intuition, you can make a better strategy. But more importantly, you will also be able to be more fluid because you'll understand how to manage things better, right? I think that makes sense. You'll be able to understand that. But what might not be as intuitive is that this is really the way, when you think about that you can improve. Because if you just think about strategy, I was stuck in there for a while. I was like, well, maybe I need a better strategy. Maybe I need to read more books. But then I realized it's about doing what I've been doing all along, which is getting a better understanding of human psychology and influence and all those things. And all those things will stack up over time. And you shouldn't be afraid to actually implement them in your sales goal. Like everything that you know of how you handle or how you interact with like friends, how you interact with other people around you, all those things, like actually implement that in your sales goals. Don't be afraid to just do that and step out of the norm of what normally people do in sales goals. You need to be able to apply your own intuition to it, because that's what's really going to move the needle. There's only so many books on sales. Most of them are a little bit similar. Most of the theories are a little bit similar. And a lot of like the high level skills, they exist because there's a lot of like nuances that you'll learn to understand. And there's more to it. There's not just about insight. There's also like a lot about like self-control, emotional control, health, and all these things affect it as well. But insight is going to make the most work, get you the most results. So you can focus on that. Now, how you can develop insight is, well, you can read sales books, but you can also read books about psychology. You can read even books about business. That could help. But a lot of the times, it's just really when you are doing your sales calls, when you are doing the work, that's how you're going to learn. But at the same time, pay attention that you're not just stuck in the rhythm of like making calls and like grinding it out. Make sure that you have enough time for yourself to, every time that you're doing something, every time that something is happening, reflect on why is this happening? What can you improve? And these are some things that you can work on. If you can improve your understanding, then that can help a lot. So these are some of the things that you can do. Now, obviously, it's a lot about like just, I think experience is like the best way you can do it. And just be careful that you're not stuck into a grind. Always like wonder like why is the thing happening that's happening? Right? Always wonder like what is like the way forward? Because like if you don't do that, then things will just happen and you might just get stuck into a grind. And that's where you just get stuck in like doing repetitions. And then, you might not be very effective with your time and your energy. And if you want to be like a high-level salesperson or like a successful business person, you need to learn to be effective and manage your time and energy well. Just doing work is not going to get you results. Doing great work is what gets you great results. So I hope you got something out of that. It seems like a little bit like weird to talk about, but I think it's very, very, very true in both sales and business. So be a little bit more conscious about that. And then I think you can make a lot of more improvements in your work and make a lot better closes, more money, and maybe even have a better life. So anyway, guys, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys around. Cheers.